Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to review of Traced in the Air, the second record by the band Cynic. Today we're celebrating the 15th anniversary of the record, so I decided to go back and see if it still holds up or not. I've already reviewed Focus this year for the 30th anniversary, so go check that video out. My story with this band is quite simple. I've stumbled upon their music back in 2008 because I've been checking out the Dev discography and I was interested into what the band members were doing, so I've checked what Paul and Sean did. They've played on the Human record and I was like, wow, they've got a band, it's called Cynic, I have to check it out. So I found Focus on YouTube and the rest is history. I've been their fan ever since. What's funny is that was like at the start of the year, so like 8 or 9 months before Traced in Air was released, so I was actually quite stoked to hear this one. Same as usual, the album artwork was done by Robert Venosa, same as all of the other ones. Rest in peace. We've got almost the same lineup as on the previous records, Paul on the vocals, guitars and guitar synth, Sean Reynard on drums, Sean Malone on the bass and Chapman stick, and a new member, Timon, on guitar and dev growls. Timon was featured on this record and the Retraced EP and then he left the band. We also have Amy doing some backing vocals, mostly on the 7th track. The production was handled by Paul the vocalist and Warren Riker, and it's alright, it does sound good, there is no loudness war or clipping here, but I wish the record had more clarity and impact to it, like power, you know. But it is good. There is also a 2019 remix and remaster done by Adam, I forgot his surname, the dude from Periphery. While production-wise that remix is superior to the original one, there is just one but, and that's the removal of growling. Like, I don't understand why they removed half of the vocals. I mean, not half, growling was like 20 or 30% of the record, but still, that's just wrong to me. My stance on it is that I don't recommend the remix to anyone. Not because it sounds better, but because it doesn't have growling, so the vocals are just missing and it feels weird to me. I only recommend it to people who don't like growls, but I do and I need them, especially when they were in the first official original version of the record. Message is diverse, the songs are mostly about spirituality, time, love, creation, existence, stuff like that. Structure of the tracks is advanced. Usually we got an intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, a change, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, another change, a guitar solo, bridge, another change, a guitar solo, and the outro. Sometimes it's slightly different, it depends on the song. And the music could be described as progressive death metal, technical death metal, jazz fusion, experimental stuff. The record starts with an intro, non-fluence, or however you pronounce that. Then the first thing you're going to notice here is that the first minute is like ambient music, then we get some vocals, some drumming, and at the end, like the last 30 seconds are tech-deafy stuff, you know, standard Cynic music. I'm not going to lie to you, this is the weakest track on the record, but I do enjoy it. It's a nice build-up to the next tracks. I love the last 30 seconds because they remind me of the last song on the previous record. How could I? 6 out of 10. The space for this is the first real song I would say here on this record. The first thing I'm going to notice here is the drumming. It's there for the entire record. Sean was a master at his instrument. I love the double bass work, the blast beats, the groove, the tempo changes, how everything is so technical. It's hard to keep up, but you do enjoy everything that he's doing here. Rest in peace, legend. Next we got the bass work. The bass is audible. Another Sean is playing just as good as the first Sean, the drummer. I love the bass lines, the emotions they have. This stuff enriches the sound of the band for sure. Rest in peace, another legend. Then we've got the guitar work by Paul and Timon, I think. And I love it, we've got some crunchy, heavy guitar noises, some beautiful lead melodic guitar work. The guitar solos are straight out of this world, they're my favorite thing about the guitar work. From what I remember, 2 of the songs on this record are from 1994, before Cynic broke up for the first time, so yeah, you can feel that old school spirit on this record, even if it's more polished and melodic than Focus. We also have some synths and keyboard elements on this record, and that's all fine. It does work with the music. Last but not least, we've got vocals by Paul and Timon. Well, Paul is only doing clean singing here with vocoder, and I do enjoy his vocals for most of the time, but sometimes he uses too much of autotune and it sounds like chipmunks, and it's annoying the hell out of me. And that's a problem that I did not have on Focus. Like, on Focus it sounded good. Here sometimes, especially on the third track, in the middle, it goes way too much into that stuff. Like, I'm like, stop, please stop. Like, he could have sang that without the autotune and he would have sounded better. That's just my opinion. We also have growls by Timon, and I think that they enrich the sound of the music. I love the screaming and the growling. It's just great. I don't understand why it's not on the remix. Is Cynic that greedy that they don't want to pay him for doing the vocals on this record or something? Because I see no other explanation for that. The previous record had growls, this one also has them, and the remix does not. And why? You know how weird the record sounds without the growling, especially when sometimes the growling starts the song, like the third track for example starts with Evolution growl, and it just works so well. The remix version, there's just fucking silence, there's nothing, there's just music, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? So yeah, I mostly love the vocals on this record. Going back to the second track, The Space for This is a great track, but it's one of my least favorites here. I do love the guitar riffs, the melodic intro, the drumming is on point as usual, same with the bass work, the growling great. Some of the clean singing is not for me, that's why it's not a perfect song to me, but it's still amazing. I do enjoy it. 8 out of 10. Evolutionary Sleeper. Now this is one of my favorites from this record. I did a Doom MIDI cover of it recently because of that, and this is going to probably sound controversial, but I prefer my Doom MIDI cover than the original song, because the vocals here are sometimes atrocious. Like, Paul does not sound great with that autotune, like in the middle. The vocals go just too high for me. It hurts me, it hurts my ears and my brain, so that's bad. But everything else is on point, like the drumming, the atmosphere, the guitar riffs, the bass. I feel like this is one of the songs that was recorded in 1994. Of course, I might be wrong, but it does have that How Could I and Focus vibe to it. Love the middle part of the song, not the vocals, the music. That long guitar riffs. Dim, dim. It has that Doom and Diablo quality to it, like it reminds me of those video games. Also, the outro has a fantastic guitar solo, like it's so emotional, so nostalgic and melodic. Love this song so much. 10 out of 10. Integral Birth. Now this is apparently some reworking of some song by Ion Spoke or something like that. I did listen to that band a couple of times, but it didn't grab my attention as much as Cynic. So this one is my third favorite song here. I love the guitar riffs, the drumming, the solos. The solos are the best part, but also the overall vibe of this song is just so magical to me. The vocals, I actually have nothing to complain about here because the cleans are just as good as the growling. 10 out of 10. The Unknown Guest. This is probably going to surprise you, but this is my favorite song on the record. I love the verses so much. The clean singing in the verses, the guitar riffs. This might be the second song they wrote in 1994 because it has that old school vibe to it. If it's not, then more power to them because they've wrote one of the best songs ever. I love this one so much. The guitar solos, the drumming, the tempo changes, just everything. It flows so well. Like, before recording this review, I've listened to it like 10 times and I was like, this song is great. Like, I forgot how good it is. 10 out of 10. Adam's Murmur. Now this one is actually great musically, as usual. Love the guitar solos. It's a little bit short, like 3 minutes, but I do dig it a lot. Some of the vocals are not for me, but besides that, this is a fantastic track. 9 out of 10. King of Those Who Know. This is a long track, like over 6 minutes. Love the melodic intro, the vocals there, the singing, it's so beautiful. Then we get some more heavier stuff, and it's all nice, but I feel like it's a little bit too long for me, and also some of the vocals just don't work, but the growling and most of the singing, hell yeah. 9 out of 10. And the final track, the outro, none stands. I do enjoy this one way more than the intro to the album. Love most of the vocals, the vibe this one has. Like, it also reminds me of the first record. It has that magical quality to it. This is a great finish to the album. 8 out of 10. To sum it all up, the consistency is stable and the flow is fitting group everything. Yeah, it's an excellent record. I love it from beginning to the end. The weakest song is the first one for sure, but the rest goes so hard. Integral Birth, The Unknown Guest, Evolutionary Sleeper, Adam's Murmur, and King of Those Who Know. Those are my favorites. I just love them so much musically. Vocally, they are almost amazing, just some of the autotune stuff and the vocoder is just too high for me. If this was fixed, I think this record would be more enjoyable to me. I still think that Focus is the best Cynic record and it's always going to be this way, but this one, the second one, is almost as good. If I had to rate the remix version without the growls, I would give it a good score, because why would you remove 20% of the vocals? Like, why? I love the dynamic between the growling and the singing, how sometimes you even hear them at the same time, and that's just so fun to listen to. And if you hear only the vocoder, then you focus more on the autotune, it just pushes me away from enjoying the music. I hope you understand what I mean. I didn't want this review to sound so negative. I just don't like some of the high autotune noises. But yeah, everything else was on point, especially the drumming, guitar riffs, and the bass lines. That stuff was just fantastic. Celebrate also by spinning this record today. It deserves your attention. That's all from me. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram link in the description. I will see you in my other videos. Also consider becoming a member on my channel so I can make an album review or maybe a MIDI cover. That's all. Bye.